What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TY, and today I'm going to be talking about consumption and how that's how you really change your life overall. Okay, so I'm gonna speak about fitness primarily, but this thing can affect your entire life. It's going to change your life. So just stick with me, all right? All right. So first off, before I get into anything, I want to talk about the fact that the first step in changing your life is saying no. No more of what the past has for me, right? You gotta go straight for the future, right? So you have to say no so you can set in your mind that this is not what I want in life, right? And you can't negotiate with it. You gotta understand that success has a price. And if you keep on saying, I want to do this and I want to do that, but you're still doing what you used to do, then you're never going to change anything. You're always going to repeat yourself in like these little circles and these cycles that you'll always be ended up being frustrated with. And that's not what you want, right? All right, so what you got to understand point blank, right, is that you can't negotiate with this person if it's a set price. That success, that goal you want has qualifiers, right? And you got to meet every single one of them, because if you slack off, you'll never reach your goal. To be honest, the thing is, you are engulfed in your old habits and your old you, right? And that's why you can't break free from it. You have an issue with not being able to freely discard yourself from those past actions and habits that you did, like eating too much or drinking, partying too much, or any of that. When it comes to fitness, I mean, those things aren't really conducive. You can do them a little bit, but you probably have a vice that gets in the way of your goals, right? And so you have to find that vice and you have to just cut it off or moderate yourself, right? And you can find people to help you out with. Some people can just say no and get rid of anything that's been bothering them for their entire life or whatever. Some people can do that. They that strong. Don't worry about them. You know what I'm saying? Either you are or you're not. Sometimes you need help though. And you can find people that'll help you out with these goals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody. Get somebody to be like, check in on you. Or find somebody with a similar problem. You guys stay strong together. And then you'll figure it out. You'll be to where you want to be and you'll be wherever you want to be in your life, right? And that's the whole goal. And it's like you're surrounded by a pool of inadequacies. Is what I mean by you're engulfed in your past self. All of those habits, whenever you try to change, they just kind of stick and try to get to you and try to bring you back to who you were or under the water, right? And that can be a real issue because it's so hard to find the new you when you're constantly fighting the old you, right? And this brings me to my point about consumption. The consumption mindset is honestly, you have to live this. You have to eat, sleep, breathe these new habits of yours that you're forming. And you never be too hard on yourself. But the thing is, you got to hold yourself accountable. When you mess up, you just get back on that horse and don't feel depressed, because this is a long process, right? It takes time to become more fit. And these things translate to anything else. Like I said before, if you want public speaking, comedians and public speakers, they were terrified at first. And some people give them A-type personalities and they eye with it. But a lot of them had to fail on stage, a whole bunch of people booing them, and they kept getting back up. That's what you have to do. You have to master this. Myself, speaking in front of a camera is not my forte. Speaking in front of a crowd, not my forte. But one time I was like, courage is earned. You know what I'm saying? It's not by default, right? So you have to be in those situations. And I went to a poetry club and performed. My leg was shaking. It was going like this. But my voice was strong. And I made it through the whole thing. I made a couple jokes too. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no secret that my leg was shaking. I couldn't control that. But you know what I could control? I could control that I got up there and I did what I had to do, and then I got down. And those were little stepping stones. And it was right before COVID. So now COVID has stopped that. But I always try to put myself in those situations so I can be better. And I try to consume myself on public speaking tips. I try to consume all those things that I want to achieve in my life. And I try to just make that, and I try to just bring it in so that every thought is predicated on advancing that, right? And it's just an amazing tip. Like if you ever, I mean, the most thing that I see when it comes to people in the fitness community is that they make this their lifestyle. They look at YouTube videos, they look up the science and stuff, they look up their body types, they learn themselves, they look up what percentage it is, they count calories to the point where you can be a calorie savant. Like you'll know the exact calories. I know what the calories is in an egg, cheese, a slice of ham, all those things. So I just do the math in my head right then and there. It's stuff that becomes second nature. Just like you in whatever field you're in, the stuff just becomes second nature. Somebody not in that field is not privy to that information. It just doesn't come to them as easy, right? That's the same thing. You gotta say no. You gotta stop negotiating, and then you have to consume this every day or be consumed by it. Now, I don't mean like making this like, you got gym addicts. Everything could be an addict to somebody, or an addiction for somebody, right? What I mean by this is that for the first 2 weeks, for the first 6 months, for the first year, you have to dedicate yourself to this unyielding goal and feed your mind everything necessary, because when you feed the mind, your body's just gonna follow, right? Your body just follows what it is. But if you're engulfed in your old habits, now you're bringing in new habits, and now you're being more responsible. You're being more considerate about what you eat and what you take in. And so you really have to be consumed. Am I gonna be more outgoing? Am I gonna be more goal seeking in my life? Am I gonna be more fit in my overall? I mean, I have a whole nother video about body positivity too, because fitness and health aren't exactly synonymous, but yeah, I'll get into that later. But anyway, what I'm saying is that this has to be the new you. You cannot keep on trying to negotiate and trying to live your old life but wanting the new goals. You'll never get anywhere. And that's why whatever you do, you have to be consumed by it. And my last point is, this is now speak, right? You can't, if you ever like say, I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to, be more outspoken, or I'm going to do these things, then what you're really doing is you're putting it to the back burner. You're always procrastinating on your true goals, right? You're never really gonna get anywhere, because you're never gonna, spark that, hey, this is me now. I can't do that. Hey, yo, I can't hang out with you right now, because I'm, what I'm saying, it's gonna, if I drink at this party, it's gonna mess up my goals, or I can't go out with you to eat because I'm trying to work on my finances and I'm trying to be more fiscally responsible. All of these things are you setting a standard and keeping yourself accountable for that. So it's always got to be, this is the new you now. So you can actually get there, because Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? This is every step and every moment that you take, but you got it, right? Whatever it is, you got it, because all it takes is that no, that commitment, set short-term goals, and then just completely engulf yourself in the whole thing, and then say, hey, I've achieved my goal, I can relax. You know what I'm saying? Don't relax too much, because then you might fall into your old habits, but it's nothing to get back on that bicycle. All right, so hey, love y'all, please subscribe, and I'm out.